Hey everybody, welcome to In and Out of Character, a Roleplayers podcast where I, Mr. Island, talk to roleplayers of all kinds. Today, we are talking with Connor, who came to me about trans role playing. We also talked about role playing partners. I give you a little bit of mukbang ASMR. We talk about how we introduce ourselves as role players to other people. And at the very end, we make a Sonic OC. So, enjoy that. Hi, I'm Mr. Island. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Connor, but I go by many different aliases online.
Do you prefer Connor here, or do you want to go by something else?
No, Connor's fine.
All right, Connor. Well, welcome to a podcast about role playing, which is really weird. It's a very strange hobby.
Honestly, yeah, it's whenever I have to when people ask oh, what's your main hobby? I'm kind of like, oh, I like draw because how do you explain role playing to someone who's never heard of it before? Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I legitimately was thinking about this other day, right? Because I do not date people. I don't want to date people, but I was thinking to myself because someone had expressed interest, and I was like, how do I tell this person that my favorite hobby in the whole wide world is role playing? Like,
Literally,
do I make it sound magical? Like, oh, I love cooperative storytelling, or do I be like, oh, I just like D&D or something like that? Like, because that when people think about role playing, they often think about Dungeons and Dragons, right? So,
mhm.
oh, I like D&D, or Pathfinder and stuff like that. But that's not the truth of it. I like I like role playing in MMOs.
For real. How do I say? Oh yeah, I spent 2 years playing Svator, fucking
Yeah.
pretending to be a Twi'lek online.
Yeah, like there's no good way of doing it. And it sucks.
I think honestly, I've found a really I kind of do a blend of both. I always describe it as like improv if it was easy because you're leaning on another person to do it. Because
Hmm.
I think a lot of it is improv. So I always say oh, just imagine yes anding with someone for months at a time, and they're like, oh right, okay, that sounds really fun.
Hmm.
Because a lot of the role play that I do, oh god, going back in the day, I used to role play in deviant art DMs and doing warrior cats role plays on forums and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's definitely snowballed into I do sort of really long term text based role play where you write a few
Yeah.
paragraphs and the next person writes a few paragraphs. And I think yes anding is the best way to describe the style of role play that I do because 99% of it is improv. You just kind of
Hmm.
find your story beats and then just kind of play out the meat in between. Um,
Right.
and I just very recently sort of not came out about my hobby, but started being more upfront about it.
Yeah,
And
me too, actually, because it's like since I've been trying to do this thing, I'm at that
yeah,
point where I'm like, man, I might as well just be honest about it instead of trying to get around it.
and it's surprising how cool people are about it. Everyone in my life, obviously, I've not told my parents because how the fuck do you explain that? But
Yeah.
everybody else, my boyfriend, my little sister, my flatmate, my other
Mhm.
friends, they've all been oh my god, I actually really want to try. I'm actually writing after this call. I'm writing a starter for my flatmate to role play for the first time with them because I've sucked them into the hobby.
Idea.
They're that interested.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Are they gonna do a tabletop, or is it gonna be like a forum or a post to post type thing?
It's going to be post to post. So
Hmm.
they're writing kind of a spin-off fic of a TV show that they really like. And I'm, funnily enough, we're also flatmates in that universe. So we're just going to sort of be playing out. I think we should play out the time that our characters first met. I think that'd be a fun little starting point.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'm also half tempted to just toss them into the deep end with the trauma because that's always very fun.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm really excited that I'm actually getting to bring my best friend into this hobby as well because there's not many people I've managed to convert into this hobby. It's not often that you tell someone about role play and they're like, I want to try. So I think that's a really exciting new thing to try
It,
with them for sure.
because it really is just such a strange maybe I shouldn't say strange hobby in general, but it is in like the context of like all the other things that you could be doing with your life, right? It is a pretty odd thing to want to just sit down for a moment and do storytelling with other people. And
Absolutely.
it's how do I put this? It's like the way I think about it is like there way back when people used to gather around the fires and tell stories, right? Or at least that's what we're told used to happen.
Mhm.
And essentially, we're doing the same thing, but we don't have to do that anymore because normally the stories come from the television or the
Mhm.
radio or your favorite uh awesome story podcast, whatever, right? But now there's this rising, like this continuous rise of people who are interested in not only just listening to other people's role-playing podcasts like Critical Role, shout out to Roleplay Rejects, my best friends, all them out there, right? And it's kind of cool to see a community come around that. I don't know. Am I making any sort of sense right now?
Yes, you absolutely are making sense. I totally relate to that. Like, yeah, it is like circling back. I think it is a strange hobby, to be quite honest.
It really is.
Definitely is. Like, it's oh, I'm so sorry. My mum is trying to get in contact with me right now.
Go right ahead.
I'm so sorry. I will literally be right back. Give me like 5 minutes.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna eat my sausage egg and cheese tacos. Oh.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to Mr. Island's mukbang ASMR while we're waiting. I did not intend for this to happen, but here we are. And I think I'm gonna add this to the episode. I have a sausage, egg, and cheese. I did say taco earlier. They're actually sausage, egg, and cheese hash brown burritos. Thank you very much. I make about 8 of them every week. One to eat at the moment after I get done making them, and then I take them and I wrap them up in tinfoil individually. And instead of spending like, I don't know, $6, $7, $8 on small burritos at Walmart that are frozen, I have a bunch of big, nice, properly made sausage, egg, and cheese burritos with whatever else I want them for the morning. And I don't know about you guys who are listening to this right now, but having that ritual of waking up and grabbing a cup of coffee and putting a burrito in the toaster oven or unwrapping it and putting it in the microwave because sometimes I run a little late, it has started to have like a big meaning to me. So what I'm trying to say is make your own food. God damn it. Stop ordering DoorDash. All right. Delete that app from your phone because it is heretical. It's not heretical. It's not. If you want to DoorDash something. You're good. But I'm gonna take another bite. I'm hungry.
Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. My family was like, "Oh, it's urgent. Please get in contact." And they're like, "Okay, so we're booking Disney right now."
They're what now?
They're booking Disney, and they
Oh,
were like,
booking
"Oh,
Disney.
yeah." They were like, "Oh, we really need your attention right now. It's urgent. Please pick up." The one time I'm in the middle of something. Anyway, so yes, I do think that not only is roleplay a strange hobby, but I also think that I think especially when you're a writer, a part of you does yearn to gather the
Mm,
metaphorical fire and tell stories and whatnot. And I think actually stories
yes.
can come out as a lot more impactful when you're doing it with another person.
Hmm.
Like I love having a story between two characters and then you actually have another brain to work off of and they come up with ideas that you wouldn't have even ever thought of or considered. And like the amount of
Yeah.
times I've been role playing with someone and they've like actively changed my character's lore because I've been like, that's a good idea, I'm stealing it. um it's honestly like I have a roleplay partner that's pretty long term at the moment. We've been going for about 3 months. And
Hmm.
she's fucking awesome. Shout out to Trish. I love you, girl. Please never stop writing with me. But
Man, I feel that so much. Like I feel that deep in my soul where you got like good role play friends and they're like turning out some like really nice, elegant, just awesome
mhm,
paragraphs and you're like, God, I love this. And you're just like, please never let this end. Please
literally,
don't
like I will track your IP address. Do not
Oh,
get me wrong.
real quick to the audience, please do not track any of my IP
Okay,
address.
that's slash silly audience. That is a joke. I promise. But Triss is fucking awesome. We've
Mhm.
she will actually come up later when I sort of get into the topics of what I want to bring up today. But
Mhm.
she has been such a healing experience for roleplay for me recently.
Yeah.
And like some of the ideas that she's come up with, because like we both love vampires, but her interest goes way like I'm new to the vampire train, right? I'm like a noob at this. So like
Mhm.
she's been into vampires for ages and ages. And like some of the things that she's come up with, not only for her character, but also for mine, has
Mhm.
just been like so awesome. Like I think because it's going to sound really cheesy, but I think especially when you do post by post role play or like D&D role play especially, I think your writing changes the more role play partners you have, because we end up becoming like these little mosaics of all the people we've written with. Like I think we
Yeah.
take little parts of them with us in our writing journeys.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's a really beautiful part of writing for me. Um but and I feel like I'm yapping at the moment. Sorry. I'm like
No, yap away. That is what this podcast is for. Please yap
mhm.
away. So
um
if you don't mind me asking, really quick,
mhm.
would you like to continue? You mind if I change the subject really quick?
No, go right ahead.
I'm really curious. How did you yourself get into role play?
Oh God, that's a loaded question. I've been role playing online since I was about 12 because just add two
Mm.
little sparkle emojis on the bit of the sentence. Unmoderated internet access.
Yeah,
So
that'll do it.
when I first started role playing, I was oh God, this is so cringe. I was a Invader Zim fandom role player where
Hell
I was
yeah, Invader Zim. I haven't heard that one yet, but I appreciate it. Let me tell
yeah,
you what.
been a long time since I heard that name, but yeah, I was a diehard Invader Zim fan. Like, I remember when my like stepdad gave me my first laptop and he like pirated all the seasons for me and put it on my laptop for me to watch whenever we didn't have internet. So shout out to
Mhm.
Davey, love you for that. But I started doing roleplay on DeviantArt because I was drawing these really cringe Invader Zim fan arts, and I just sort of like someone came into my DMs and ended up being a mutual, not knowing I was 12. So I forgive them. But they were like, have you ever done like fanfic writing before? And I
Mhm.
had dabbled, it wasn't great, but I'd certainly dabbled.
Mhm.
And it just sort of snowballed from there. And then I didn't really have a name for the hobby that I had until I was about 14, 15, flashback to like the Kick Messenger days and like early Reddit and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, not early Reddit, but like early 2010s Reddit. I started like because I know that there's I don't know if you've ever kind of stumbled across these, but there's a lot of subreddits that it's sort of like Craigslist for roleplay, where you just sort of like put an ad out and say like this is how old I am, this is like the fandom I'm part of, or like this is the idea I have. If anyone's interested, DM me, and that
Mhm.
has sort of been like my main way of roleplay ever since.
Really?
Yeah, like I have the unfortunate hobby of being a Reddit role player.
No,
Um,
no. Actually, I think that's pretty. I think that's a pretty smart way to do it. If you're comfortable doing that, obviously. If you're not
of course.
currently 18, please maybe don't do that. Find other ways of role playing. But
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe Amino's more your speed.
oh god,
Um,
Amino.
oh, actually, yeah. To be fair, I take that back. Don't go to Amino if you're a minor listening to this. Absolutely, do not
Yeah.
fucking go
Do
there.
not go to Amino, please, for the love of
Um,
God.
oh god, I just like Men in Black flashbang myself with like all of the fucking like Amino controversy that I'd forgotten about until this very second.
Yeah,
Um,
I had made one Amino account using the core role players guild stuff
mhm,
because I wanted to go out and talk to I wanted to find more role players to talk to.
mhm.
And when I got on there, I realized that that was not a good idea.
Absolutely not.
So like because I had applied to like two different things. I think I applied to like a World of Warcraft one and maybe a Final Fantasy one, possibly. But like I put in the applications and then I had heard like about all this shit from Amino and I was like, oh no. Oh
Mhm.
no. But
Oh
anyways,
yeah, no,
continue.
it's but yeah, so with Reddit roleplay and stuff, it is a very efficient way to find roleplay partners, but I would also
Mhm.
say that like 95% of it is just like absolute waste of time. And actually it's so interesting that you got in contact with me to do this podcast when you did, because when I applied for this podcast, I was in like the height of my like Reddit roleplay days. Like I was unemployed, didn't really have much going on for me. Like all I did was roleplay. And I think because what I want to talk about today, the experiences of trans people in roleplay
Hmm.
spaces.
Right.
I think that Reddit is an absolutely horrendous culprit for like making trans people extremely uncomfortable trying to roleplay with other people. Because it's Reddit. That's what it's for. People,
Hmm.
there's loads of like, and I hate to sound mean, but freaks on there.
Hmm.
And I would very innocently go on trying to, because a lot of the characters I roleplay are trans as well. Because I mean, fuck, the representation for us is minimal in mainstream media. So we got to pull our own weight sometimes.
Yeah.
But uh, it's amazing that you've gotten in contact with me now, because like this roleplay with Triss that I'm doing, the person that I mentioned, has been like so healing for playing a trans character that like I'm like having to remind myself of all the fucking anger that I felt when I first like applied for this podcast. But I would say that Reddit is a very interesting place when it comes to being a trans person trying to find characters to roleplay with, because I think they use it as an excuse to like ask all of the shitty questions that they can't be asked like Googling, if
Hmm.
that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they use your character as like a sounding board. So the amount of times that like I've started a scene and then my character, like, I'll write a starter and then the first thing that the other character says to mine is, so like what are you, like, are you a boy or a girl? And it's like
Oh
we're in the
man.
middle of trying to crack a code for a heist right now, and you're asking what's between my fucking legs. Like,
That's
please
not.
lock in right now,
Yeah.
I
That's
beg.
interesting.
It's honestly, and like, because the whole point of role playing for me was to, especially at the time, because like I didn't pass very well. So like now,
Hmm.
I've got like a beard, and like my voice is a little bit deeper than it used to be. So like I don't get misgendered in public at all anymore. But
Hmm.
at the time, I was role playing to escape that, and so I was just going from one shitty reality into the other. Like I think role play is like the ultimate escapism. So when you're trying to escape from such a shit reality and be someone else and be someone that you feel more comfortable being, and
Hmm.
then it's like the shit that you deal with in your real life just follows you into this hobby, and it's really really frustrating.
Yeah.
um
No,
and
I get it.
it's so difficult to find people who are cool about trans characters.
Hmm.
Like I don't know how into Star Wars you are. I don't know how familiar you are with it.
Let's say I am, for the sake of argument, let's say I am just a little bit, not quite an expert, but I at least know things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I don't know. So basically, the fandom is they're very very strict about lore. Like you have people who are fun, and then you have people who only care about lore, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, actually, I was just strictly a Star Wars role player. I had this character who was a Twi'lek called Citazul, and they're like my magnum opus. Like I care them
Yeah.
so much. I literally have commissioned like physical merch of them because I love them so much. I literally have like a patch on my corkboard right now of them. Um,
That is so much dedication, and I'm here for it.
for real, they're like a 5-year old character now. They were born from like the COVID-19 pandemic boredom,
Hmm.
and it's been history ever since. And they're like my favorite character. And people really love to claim that transness can't exist in Star Wars. And I'm like, you're talking about the entire fucking universe. And you're saying to me that transgender people don't exist in an entire universe? Are
Like, if we,
you
if
like,
we can have the,
I,
I don't understand that concept, because if we can have
yeah,
a fish that transitions, we can. What the fuck do you mean trans people wouldn't exist in Star? What the fuck kind of
exactly.
stupid? I'm sorry. I'm getting angry. I shouldn't be
No,
getting
you're
angry.
no, but you're so right, because people do that, and what I hate that even more, that concept, is when people do it in D&D, right? And they're like, "Oh, trans people can't exist in D&D. Make a spell, forehead. What are you talking
God,
about?
dude, if oh god, I'm sorry.
Literally make
Uh,
a spell."
I feel like I'm about to pass out of my chair. I'm sorry. I'm a little annoyed by that. Like it's just so I don't fucking understand that logic. Like
Yeah,
there is so much that could possibly happen in these fucking universes, and
yeah.
you're like, trans people though? Like, what the fuck kind of logic is
Like there's
that?
much fucking bigger fish to fry. Like, especially given that, like, I think that sci-fi and fantasy are some of the most flexible genres that we have to write in,
Yeah.
and you're going to be that limiting.
Like,
So like there's like, dude, my character has robot legs, and you're telling me that they can't be transgender? Come on now.
I was about to say, like, this can either be one of fucking three things, right? This could be either
Mhm.
that you believe, if you believe trans people couldn't exist in Star Wars, you believe that it could never have happened
Mhm.
evolutionarily with any other race, animal, species out there. You
Exactly.
believe that no one would have thought to transition themselves
Mhm.
and never made the technology to do that, which is
Mhm.
really fucking stupid. Or three, you think that, oh God, this one actually I think infuriates me more. I'm sorry. I might actually have to let me sip my coffee. Hold on.
Yeah, wet the whistle. Get ready.
It's like, okay, so we have the you would have to have sat there and said that no race in the whole universe of Star Wars would have been
Mhm.
culturally accepting of of people who transitioned. Uh,
Exactly.
and at that, like, I'm sorry, those three things, like the odds of those three things ever fucking happening
Or
when we
slim to
have
none.
practically non-existent.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of logic is to sit there and say like one of these three things prevented, or like all three of these things prevented people from wanting? I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. I'm
No, you're so right to be angry though, because like this subject has actually almost made me like give up writing entirely. So like I'm
oh.
glad that you're getting pissed off about it, because like I've spent so long like wasting energy on being angry about it. Because it's been my reality for this entire hobby. And like now that I have, because online I tend to go by Sid, or now it's Sai because of my current character Cyrith, who
Mhm.
sweet angel baby, I will bring you up soon. But it's and especially with sci-fi, especially, that pisses me off when people say, oh, like trans people can't exist. Like, just make something up, be creative, man. Like, I literally, my character, so they have their legs are severed from like the knee down, but they still have like their thighs, and a common
Mhm.
place to get hormones injected is your thighs. So I was like, oh, what might be cool is they just have like a little like metal cybernetic dispenser that just does the hormones for them. They just have to put the canister in. And like, I think that's not only creative but also fucking feasible in the universe, because it's just a little like it's like a disc tray, but tray built into your leg. And like, if you can have robot legs, I think they can also do that as well.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's not like at the end of the day, like all your character is just a character who is trans. Like
exactly.
that's not the theme of your character. That's just a part of your character. Like,
Like, my character is like a fucking freedom fighting rebel that's trying to bring down the Hut cartel, and all you care about is like what they were born as. Like, come on. It's honestly, it's a really, really frustrating um like problem to deal with in a hobby, especially when it's a hobby where you're, again, like I mentioned, when you're trying to like escape from that part of your life. And this is why I think it's kind of poetic that I applied for this podcast when I did, and it's only now that you've gone back in contact with me, because now I'm in like living my best life with roleplay,
mhm,
because of my current roleplay partner Triss.
yeah.
Her character has been awesome for like healing my anger towards like how people have treated my characters in the past, because like I remember early on in the role play, so I kind of took a leap with this one. So
Mhm,
this role play is about a mortal and a vampire falling in love. I know, totally never been done before. But the thing about it was that my character hadn't transitioned at all. Like, they hadn't actually told anyone what they were feeling, because they came from this really sort of deeply religious, sort of oppressed town.
mhm,
Which the country that they're from is also very heavily based on like medieval Scotland as well. So like, it's also set during ish the time where the English started to invade, and so these English bishops came up
mhm,
to this pagan town and like
mhm,
basically wiped out the original religion,
mhm,
and basically said like, thou shall not think about sex and will marry a man. And my character was like, fuck that. And so they went off to go and find this vampire, because the bishops were essentially letting this like blight destroy the town. So like, crops were dying, livestock
mhm,
were like being driven mad with like poisoned meat and stuff like that. And so my character was like, right, I'm gonna go find some help, and stumbles upon my friend's character Ethan,
Mhm.
who is just an asshole and also a twink at the beginning. Um,
Just the most assholish twink you've
yeah,
ever met in your life.
he's beautiful and a dick. And Cyrith is like, please help me, my town's dying. And he goes, oh, fine, but only because I'm old and bored, and you're the most interesting thing that's happened in the last 500 years. Um, and it's actually through Cyrith showing, because they're extremely stubborn and they're a very determined and very defiant person, like almost kind of to a fault,
Hmm.
which definitely ties into their identity a lot, because I think coming out and being trans is a defiance in and of itself. It's a big fuck you to anybody who disagrees, and
Hmm.
also a big fuck you to anybody who believes that you have to stay the same way your whole life. But that's me tangentialing off of role play, and that's not what I'm here to do. But yeah, so essentially, these two characters meet, and Ethan discovers who Cyrith is inside, past like their female shell, and sort of falls for them. And when he brings up transfiguration, Cyrith is like, "Please teach me," and he's like, why? And Cyrith just kind of like clams up about it, like they don't really know how to explain. And you sort of fast forward a few weeks, and Ethan stumbles upon basically like this trans Bible that Cyrith has written about how they're going to learn transfiguration all by themselves, and they're going to, change themselves. And but it's going to take years and years and years of studying. And
Hmm.
Ethan, the absolute gem that he is, he's like, I'm not going to make you wait. Like, I'll just change you. And Cyrith kind of dies a little bit because, like, what the fuck, this guy is being nice all of a sudden. Um, and Ethan and Cyrith actually really start to bond as they work together to wipe out these bishops, because I forgot to mention the
Hmm.
bishops actually do kind of pose a threat to Ethan as well, because they're looking to start like basically ethnically cleanse anybody who doesn't agree with the religion, which is very historically accurate if you ask me.
Oh God,
Um,
yes, we've done it plenty of times.
Yes, they have this really scary like crystal that's usually gifted to like a champion of a god of some kind, but they've stolen it from a god, and they're looking to basically learn how to use it for its evil purposes, one might say. And so Ethan is like, fuck, I have to care about this as well. And it's actually through them working together and him not only teaching Cyrith magic, but also them learning magic together and how to work together has actually, made them bond and made them fall in love. And, Ethan actually goes on a little gender journey himself, because he realizes like, oh, maybe I actually like wearing dresses and heels sometimes. And Cyrith post transition gets to like coach him through that journey as well. And like, it's just, they have a really beautiful bond, and it's been so healing for what my perception of gender and storytelling was, because I sort of kind of started to believe that I was overreacting when people would be shitty towards my characters. Like, I'd be like, oh, maybe this is just too much of an ask from Reddit. Maybe I just need to sort of hang my coat up and just sort of like forget this hobby altogether, because like 9 times out of 10, that's the reaction I would get. And
Hmm.
then here comes Triss with a brand new Reddit account, and it's just like, anybody look at the roleplay? And like, the fact that I almost didn't message her that night is crazy to me. Like, she's changed the hobby so much. And like, I genuinely think that her and I are going to be like, long-term friends now,
Hmm.
because of how much this story has not only changed my
Hmm.
hobby and like my life, but also like she's just the best. She literally went to Japan recently and bought me and my little sister, who she hasn't met by the way, fuck tons of shit from Japan, and just sent it to us and was like, here's just like a gift for being cool.
Oh, that is
So
so sweet.
Triss is a sweetheart. She's the human being ever.
Oh
And
yeah.
uh, if you end up listening to this episode, Triss, shout out to you. You're the best. You have the best characters ever. Genuinely, she's healed my opinion of having trans characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's diamonds in the rough like her that definitely give role playing a good name.
No, for sure. Because like I've had plenty of experiences where like things have happened, right? And it's like just killed my love for it, and like I'll leave. Matter of fact, that's what happened recently. That's the reason why I stopped doing episodes. It's the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like things happened, and it just killed my love for the thing.
Yeah.
And it took long time friends of mine who I've been role playing for years and years and years at this point to
Mm-hmm.
like pull me back and be like, hey, do you want to do a I want to have a scene, do you want to do a scene? And that will make me feel just so much better. And then it reminds me of to like why I started the core role players guild in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's really good to have people like that that can like kind of reignite your love for something.
Mm,
Like, and I think honestly, Triss has been a big one for that for me as well, only because I used to role play with my ex-fiance. But obviously, life happens and people can become pretty shitty after a long
yeah.
period of time when
Yep.
they don't fix things about themselves. And so I lost that connection with her because I think role playing with a lover, especially, is such an intense writing bond. Like when you realize that your lore is completely intertwined, it's almost like a divorce. Like your characters are your kids and like they're divorcing. And it's like the
Yeah.
family's like it's like split custody. It fucking sucks. Like
Yeah. Like
it took
really.
me
Uh-huh.
sorry, it took me literally like a few days to rewrite my Star Wars character Sid's lore because of like my ex-fiance's characters were so intertwined with them that it took quite a long time for me to actually like find write-arounds. So yeah, I think it's really awesome when you find people who can like heal that hobby and definitely like bring the spark back. I think that's definitely needed.
Sorry, my son thought that that was a perfect time to come and show me a meme.
Was that a good meme?
It was a pretty good meme, yeah, I'll admit. It was pretty cool. These newfangled kids and their memes, they they know what they're doing, I guess. I didn't
Yeah,
understand it
they
at
know the
all.
sauce.
I did not understand it. It was something about Minecraft, and then dogs started dancing. I don't know.
I'm sure it's absolutely hilarious for their generation.
I recently had I get where you're coming from because like
Hmm.
I had a friend, we were role playing, our characters got together, like we did all this stuff, and like I found out that there was some shit being said about me behind the scenes,
Oh
right?
God.
Yeah, that's essentially what killed my love for the role play. But for a second, when all this stuff started happening, they just decided to retire their character, right? They were just done with their character. And you can't stop someone from retiring a character. You cannot make
Hmm.
someone keep role playing with you. That's not how role play works. Her character just left, right? And
Hmm.
I felt like I was just sort of like in this weird dark void of like,
Yeah.
wow, everything was perfect like maybe 3 days ago.
Yeah, no, I so relate to that.
And like all this shit happened. But anyways, I'm not trying to what I'm trying to say is I completely understand what it's like to have these all this stuff built up and then just like suddenly taken away, and you're like, god damn it.
Oh, totally. Like do you know what? It's so funny you mentioned that because I'm literally going through that right now. So you get my pain
Yeah.
because the Star Wars character I've been talking about, Sid Azul,
Mm.
their wife's fucking writer has just disappeared. And she has a really bad habit of like going on hiatus for a really long time without telling me, and then she'll like pop back in and be like, "Okay, I'm back to writing," and then we'll give like two replies and just disappear again. Um, and it's really really sad because Sid's story is literally the most fleshed out I've ever had. Like they literally like they have a future kid. They construct like a stronghold on their home planet to like fight the Hutt cartel. They like bomb a Hutt palace. There's so much shit still to happen,
Yeah.
and she's just gone. And Sid might actually need to get benched, which is really really sad. So I
Yeah.
totally fucking relate to that pain. It's almost like you're mourning a death. Like
Yeah.
honestly, and
Like the story is over. It's like practically
yeah,
over at this point. Like there's nothing keeping it going, you know what I mean? And again,
yeah,
it's not like you can't be upset at your friend for going off and doing things, right? Like life
of
happens,
course.
shit happens, and you can't stop and force anybody to keep going with you. But there is this deep, sad feeling when a story
Hmm.
is just over, man. Like it's just done and it sucks because you look back and you had like all these fond memories, and you built a friendship out of character, and you
Yeah,
built the friendship in character, and it was awesome. And now it's over, and that sucks.
literally, like especially when you have unfinished business where someone retires a character before the story's over, it's honestly heartbreaking. Like I'm genuinely half tempted to ask my friend if I can have like the character rights for her character just so that I can keep writing with her because like Viz Nopalin is a fucking awesome character. She is the best. And she's so suited for Sid. And it would be awesome if I could keep writing with her so that I can at least like put Sid's story pen to paper, bare
Mm-hmm.
minimum, so it's
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. But I don't know. She comes in and out, so it's hard to know. But I am not ready for when the interest story ends. I that's gonna be like I'm gonna have to book a week off work for emotional damage. Genuinely, I am going to have to like be excommunicado. Like, right, I'm gonna go and rot in bed for a week because what do I do now?
Oh
Um,
man, when the role play is too good, it's too good.
Genuinely, it's a problem. But again, I think it all circles back to like, and again, I'm gonna be very like cheesy and spiritual here, but I think it's the old adage of like good things never last, and I think when something hurts when you lose it, I think it was worth having in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And I already know that I'm not even done with the first act of Cyrith and Ethan's story, but I already know it's gonna fucking sting. It's gonna suck. I'm not prepared.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, how did you get? You said you started an Invaders role play.
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
laughing at you. I promise.
Sure.
Um, um, I really think I'm thinking about that one scene in Invader Zim where
Uh-huh.
the scientist, I forget his name, he's like, no one's more excited than me. And some guy in the crowd
Mhm.
goes, I am, and then he just appears with his finger in the face, going, not scientifically possible. And that's making me laugh. I'm sorry.
No, you're so right.
How
That is
what was the interest in what happened to cause the interest in getting into roleplay? Do you remember that?
oh God. It's so hard to remember because again, it was like 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah, and
Um
you've been doing
it,
it so much now.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, shit. I write every day without fail. I think me and
Mhm.
Trish's story, I've skipped maybe 2 days maximum in 3 months. But I think the initial interest was just because I do like sort of long form text role play now, but I used to do it like dialogue per dialogue. So it'd be very
Mhm.
fast, like every 5 minutes, you would type like your character's response and maybe some stage directions and then send that.
Yeah.
So it's like a few
Yeah, so
sentences.
like MMO role playing, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I think the interest just sort of started because the person who spoke to me when I was uploading my really cringe, like self-shipping Vader Sim art. I can't believe this is going online. This is going to be part of my fucking digital footprint forever. But this person uh hit me up in DMs and was like, "Oh, I love your OC idea." It was a bad idea, but she loved it, so fair enough. And she was like, "Have you ever heard of like?" She basically just straight up was like, "Have you ever heard of roleplay?" And I was like, no, but it sounds kind of fun." And I used to do a form of role playing that I do not do anymore because it's like not fun for me, but so some people do something called doubling, especially on Reddit when you do romance roleplay, where you would play a canon XOC. So you would play your character's canonical crush for their
Mhm.
OC, and then they would
Mhm.
play your canonical crush for your OC. So it's like you're getting to actually bring your self-shipping fanfics to life because someone else is actually playing your canonical
You're
crush.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um, and so I did doubling roleplay for a while, because I had because the scientist you bring up, I had a massive crush on his son in the show. So Dib Membrane. So my
Uh-huh.
character was paired with him. And then I would play. I think I was actually playing Dib's sister for the other person, which is like a mind fuck of a dynamic to play. But yeah, so that's kind of how it all started. I also dabbled in Warrior Cats roleplay. I think I was a Firestar role player because I just had to be the main character at the time.
Mhm.
I also had this really cringy OC for that as well because like I've not been a self shipper since I was a teenage girl, which I think is valid that I left that behind. I think that's teenage
Mhm.
girl behavior, which is completely valid and fine. I'm just not that anymore. I'm a 25-year-old man. I gotta make an OC and stop being cringe.
Right,
Um,
right.
but but Yeah, I've been sort of an OC role player for quite a while. I really enjoy like seeing a universe I love and then just like making a character for it. Especially for Star Wars, like I think it's silly to not make an OC for Star Wars because the
Mhm.
universe is so massive, you might as well.
It's so vast.
Um,
It's like it's so wild what you could do in Star Wars, man. Like
oh yeah.
one of my favorite characters is from Star Wars.
Which one?
So his name was, oh god, you're about to learn how cringy I am. His name was Krisk Starkiller, because I took Starkiller from the older Star, it was no Star Tempest, I'm sorry. So Krisk Star Tempest was a Trandoshan Sith, all right?
Okay.
But
Amazing start.
he had wanted to leave, like, the dark side, and
hmm
he did not believe that killing somebody using a light force was honorable at all. Like, he hated it.
Right.
So what he had was this, and I'm still not over this to this day, everybody. This is a 15-year-old character. I'm still in love with it, by the way. I had a He had a Tonfa lightsaber. So he only used his
hmm
lightsaber to block, and then he would just punch everything.
Oh my god,
And
I fucking love that though.
yeah, and his punch did I remember that we were rolling damage and stuff like that, and I
hmm
hit one of the people so bad. The DM goes, "My God, you do more damage than a lightsaber can do." And I'm like,
Fuck
"That's
yeah.
the power, man."
No, I fucking love that though. Like
Yeah,
that's oh my god, I love that. Like
I
that's what
think
makes Star Wars roleplay fun is when you make
yeah.
like semi goofy characters like that.
I think Krisk was the reason I like to roleplay reptilian characters. I don't know what it is. I just like reptiles and lizards, man. Like
Hell yeah.
my character in Elder Scrolls Online, her name is Runs with Calipers, and
Love that.
Argonian. Argonian. I'll send you a picture of her in a minute.
hmm
I love her to death. Anyways, I forgot, what were you ranting about? I'm sorry. I drove us off.
No. I'm loving this tangent, honestly. Please tell me about your Argonian.
Oh god. She's tries to be more elegant than she actually is.
Love that.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was like, I just like that idea for some reason, and everyone else seems to like her, so hooray, hooray, hooray.
Hell yeah. And honestly, I fucking like Trandoshan Sith is such a wonderfully like controversial choice. I fucking
Hmm.
love that. Because like especially like the Reddit community for Star Wars roleplay, they would like choose someone out for doing that, which is really
Why?
annoying. Because they're like, oh,
Why?
it's not lore accurate. Aliens is Sith like never happens, which is fucking a lie, first of all.
Wait,
Um,
alien Siths aren't what?
yeah, they're like, oh, like aliens aren't very commonly Sith, and even if they are, they're humanoids, and it's like, come on, get an
Oh,
imagination.
okay, it's
Um,
for me and whoever the fuck I want to roleplay with. Like, what the fuck does
exactly,
it matter to you?
literally. Oh my god, it's such a fucking pain. And like, this is actually an issue that I want to bring up with Sith characters, if that's okay, just really quickly.
Oh, go ahead.
Um, So circling back to like how painful it is to roleplay, just I think it's a minority in general on Reddit. But I can only speak for trans experiences, of course.
Hmm.
But people love cosplaying as fascists when they play as Sith, and they think that that's just like part of the fucking character. Like they'll say something, like they'll hurl like a slur at your character in universe or IRL, and then when you pull them up for it, they're like, "Oh, but I'm playing an evil Sith. Like that's what Sith would do." And it's like so you just want to play a fascist. If you want to play a fascist, go fucking do a Nazi roleplay. Like get out of my fucking roleplay space. Like it's so fucking heinous to me that so many people do that with Sith characters because they think that being evil equals fascism. And one thing I will say, obviously, of course, there are sort of like slight fascist symbolism when it comes to like how Palpatine and like the Darth Vader and like the stormtroopers are actually like the actual order that goes after destroying all the Jedi. Obviously, there are themes of sort of fascist marching patterns and
Hmm.
stuff like that, but that's not a requirement to be a fucking Sith. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's one thing
Yeah.
having like fascist nods in a
Hmm.
movie and you playing a fascist. Those are two very big fucking different things.
Hmm.
And it's something that really bothers me in Sith Reddit roleplay because it happens so frequently. Like most of my bad experiences with playing trans characters have been with Sith characters pretending to be evil and actually just being racist or homophobic or transphobic or whatever.
Or some shit like that. Yeah, that's a little weird. That reminds me of like a lot of the racist elf trope. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Oh my god,
And
yes.
and I'm like I okay, so I'm not gonna call you someone shitty for role playing a quote unquote racist character, right? Like that is a like someone can have a character development, like that can be a part of the story and not be an actual reflection of the player role playing the character.
Mm.
But like, why so many people do it is
Yes.
weird to me.
And
Like,
also I think there's because the big issue in that conversation I think is nuance. And that is something that very, very few fucking role players actually have. Like I think you're right. I think there is room for redemption and growth in a character. And I think
mhm,
there definitely is room for change. But like when they make it the whole crux of the character and when they make
character,
it like
right?
and when they make it the first impression as well. I don't think that when you're playing a racist character, quote unquote, in story, um, you shouldn't include IRL slurs and IRL actual like phobias that exist. Like I think it's ridiculous if someone would be, for example, because I've heard like my ex-fiance was a person of color, and in her experiences playing like black characters, she experienced racism in Star Wars. Like, do you really think a Trandoshan is going to be racist about a black human being? Like, that's
No,
just not, that doesn't exist. And
no, not he would not like them because they don't have scales. God damn, no.
exactly, it's because they're human, not because of what fucking like color they are.
Yeah,
Um, so
where's
I
your
think
goddamn scales at?
exactly. Like I think that's the big difference is like keeping actual IRL racism out of it. If you're gonna play in universes like Star Wars or fantasy, because that's been like the main topic of conversation for my episode. But
Mhm.
I think including like again IRL phobias and whatnot is just fucking stupid, and that's where my anger lies. Whenever I'm talking about like those really sort of phobic Sith role players is that they bring IRL issues into Star Wars when it's like you're just looking for an excuse to say the shitty things that you wouldn't say in real life.
Right.
And you think you're going to get away with it because you're behind a keyboard and you're behind a character, but it's just not true. Like in my Reddit ads, I've actually had to add a TOS disclaimer where I'm like, if you have a question about trans identities, Google is your friend, smiley face. Because
Hmm.
if I don't include that, then out of character and in character, I just get asked really stupid fucking questions, and it's like you have a tiny you're role playing on a tiny computer right now, or a normal sized computer, and you're asking me. Anyway, I don't want to circle back to that too much. I just that is a big gripe I have with Sith characters is
Hmm.
people not having enough nuance with them if they're going to play them like that. If that makes
Hmm.
sense.
No, I get you. I totally get you. Tell me about your. We don't. We unfortunately, we are getting close to our hour mark, and that is where I have to cut it.
Already? Oh
Yeah, I
damn!
know. How much fun have we been having?
Oh genuinely.
I tell me about your friends because you talked a lot about your friends. Do you think they'd be cool with me? You think they'd be cool with me?
I think they would. You're
Awesome,
very chill.
awesome, awesome. That's all I want to know. I'm joking. So you did Star Wars MMO role playing, right? Did you
Yeah.
do MMO role playing in any other game?
Um, I very briefly dabbled in Warcraft for like a few weeks. I was
Few
a
weeks. A few
yeah,
weeks.
not long at all. I think I was a Tauren druid. I was like 17. And I played this like big bullman. I do not remember a lot about Warcraft. I did like a few quests and like role play with a few folks, and then it just like
Mhm.
fell off, which is so sad because I've heard a lot of good things about WoW. But yeah, that's the only other MMO. Oh, I did play ESO on console for a year actually.
Did you role play on that one, or did you just like?
Yeah, I literally used my Xbox controller to type out like replies. It would take me fucking forever
Oh, wow.
for a whole year as well. That's fucking
God.
dedication. I'll never be that
Oh
dedicated ever again.
man, how is your? That is some wild dedication. I have unfortunately gotten into the habit of turning on timestamps
Hmm.
for my chat box,
Hmm.
and if I do not reply fast enough, I beat myself up over it.
I was making people wait for my response.
Oh man, how long did it take you? Like really, like give me a number of some kind.
Honestly, I want to say because again, MMO where it's like just kind of like dialogue. Like it's not like you're not writing big, massive fucking like descriptors. Um,
Uh-huh.
I want to say a good 10 to 15 minutes per response.
Oh wow. Dude,
Yeah,
your
pretty
character
dire.
going to a bar and ordering a drink would take a whole ass hour.
This is why I only did it for a year. I was like, I can't
A
do this
year
anymore.
of that. Oh man.
I played
Uh,
a white tiger Khajiit.
did you at all ever think to yourself, maybe I should go get a keyboard?
Um, I was 16, 17 years old and not only smooth brained, but I didn't have a lot of money. So
Oh
I was
God.
like, you know what? I'll just huff my copium. I'm dedicated to the grind.
Oh man. I used to dumpster dive. I think my first computer, I dumpster dived all the parts.
That's
And I'm not
fucking
even shitting you.
awesome.
Yeah, like I think I just like picked up computers being thrown out and I
Hmm.
just went home and put everything together until something worked, and that was my first computer.
Oh my God, I love that. That's
Uh,
actually sick. Maybe I'll take a
uh,
page out of your book.
Oh man, it was rough, dog. Let me tell you, WoW did not run well on that.
Oh God, but I mean, hey, that if anything's dedication is dumpster diving for computer parts. That's
Oh
resourceful.
man, I think that's one of the reasons why I got into role playing in in World of Warcraft in the first place is because my computer was so shitty. All I could really do is just kind of like do like the bare minimum thing, right? Like I
Hmm.
couldn't do dungeons, I couldn't do raids, I couldn't do anything with a large group of people. But
Hmm.
if like I went to like the roleplay area, I didn't have to really move around. I could just roleplay, and that's how
Yeah.
I got into that.
Honestly, like fair enough. I respect. That is dedication.
God, oh man, that's a memory that should have stayed buried. I'm sorry,
No, no,
man.
not at all.
My first character was horrible. I don't know about yours, but man, my first character sucked. It was
I think
bad.
I think that's a rite of passage when making characters. Like your first one always sucks. Mine was like a Sonic the Hedgehog fan character.
Oh hell yeah! Your OC, you have a Sonic OC?
I
This
have
is
multiple, but my original was Zacharias the Hedge Fox. He was a hybrid because of course he was. And I made him when I was like 8 years old.
oh god, I don't have a Sonic OC. I should make a Sonic OC.
Yeah, you should get on that. They're very fun
You,
to make.
you know what? For this last like 7 minutes we have left,
Hmm.
help me make a Sonic OC real quick.
Oh God. Okay.
Do
Right.
they
Lock it in.
do they have bats in Sonic the Hedgehog? Are bats
They
a
do
thing?
indeed.
Oh
They
fuck
do.
yeah, let's make him a bat.
Okay. So we've got your base. What's your favorite like color and like what's your second favorite color?
Okay, so my favorite color is orange, right? Well,
Okay.
specifically traffic cone orange. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Bold choice.
And my second favorite color. Actually, hold on. Hey JJ, what's your favorite color, buddy? He said all of the colors.
All of the colors. Okay. So I get that. We're spoiled for choice. I think because what I did with my character is I did like my first and second favorite colors, and I made like the second favorite color the accent.
Hmm.
So like you have the base color is like traffic cone orange in this case, and
Hmm.
then like just sort of pick like a good accent for them for their markings. I think black goes kind of hard.
Yeah,
Orange and
let's do
black.
black. Orange black.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do orange black.
So we've got an orange and black bat. What do you think his like quote unquote class should be?
Oh, it's glass? I don't know.
It's like you've got like freedom fighters, you've got engineers, you've got like people who are just like baristas, I guess. Like the Sonic universe is massive. So it
Hmm.
could be anything you want, really.
Barista. Is a
There's gotta
barista.
be barista hedgehogs. There's gotta be. I'm looking that
Is
up.
a barista. Uh, I don't, I don't know.
Um,
Yeah, let's do barista.
fuck yeah, barista bat.
I'm
Um,
sorry, everyone listening to this who has checked out. I'm
no
sorry.
way! There is actually a human barista in the Sonic the Hedgehog official movie prequel comic.
Oh,
There are baristas in Sonic. We've cracked the case.
all
Um,
right.
so yeah, we've got an orange and black bat who's a barista. I think they make bomb lattes.
His name has to be super generic. Like,
Um,
no, hold on. I shouldn't say that because now whatever name we pick, it's gonna be upsetting.
yeah, we're gonna offend baristas with this one, saying that they have bland names.
any are there any baristas named Todd out there who are gonna be mad at me if I name him Todd?
No, but here's
The
the thing:
bat?
if you get art of this character, right, and then there's a barista out there called Todd, and they go, "Oh, what's my Sonic the Hedgehog OC?" They'll type it into Google and they'll see this really cool bat.
Todd the
Because
bat.
fun fact, everyone has a Sonic the Hedgehog character that's named after them. If you type in your name, the Hedgehog art,
What?
you'll find an
Hold
OC with your
on.
name.
Hold on. I'm doing this right now. If you're at
Guaranteed.
home, if you're driving, don't stop driving. But
Yeah.
everyone else,
Yeah.
Google
Google
your
this right
bat
now.
or
Google
Google
it
your
right now.
OC. Dustin Hedge. Oh my god. Oh no, there's a whole ass Instagram. Oh no,
Stop
this is
it.
actual animals. No, these are actual animals. Hell yeah. I'm actually looking at pictures of
Of real
hedgehogs and
hedgehogs.
bunnies. Of hedgehogs and real bunnies. Fuck yeah. I'm okay with that. Yeah. That's
Mine
my OC right there.
mine comes up as like multiple different like because my name's Connor, so there's like it's all Sonic the Hedgehog fan art.
No, no, there are certainly some OCs here named after me. And they are pretty interesting. So
Oh god. I love
I
passing on that
think,
little tidbit to people.
and I think that is going to be our episode because I
What a
can't.
note to end it on.
So if you enjoyed your OC with your main name OC,
Make sure to leave a like and a comment.
make sure to leave a link in the comment. 5 stars. Oh god, it's good
Yeah.
to be back. Thank you for coming on, Connor. I really appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I've genuinely had a blast. This has been amazing.
This has been a lot of fun.